Hey everybody, it's LeftySpinHand, your friendly neighborhood neck with a floating head on top of it. I want to welcome you to this week's episode of LeftySpinHands The Cut Prime Slices. This video is the result of a weekly process that happens live on my channel at Twitch TV. You can find the link right down there, but you can also find a clickable link down below the video in the description. On The Cut, I buy your robots and I put them to the test by running them through trials by combat, with each phase of testing raising the standards of success and failure. It all culminates in this series of matches with the finalists. Bear in mind that this has almost nothing to do with the quality of the bot or its builder, and has everything to do with how I perform in the bot. If it doesn't fit my playstyle, no matter how well it's built, it might not do so well and it might not make the cut. Bots that meet the defined set of standards move on to the next phase, but bots that don't make the cut are disassembled and we never speak of them again. So let's take a quick look at all the bots that beat out all the others over this week's The Cut. In position number 5, we find Leslie69's Crush 267. This is a 1547 CPU bot that features 14 Lynx thrusters, 10 Eagle rudders, 6 Eagle wings, 6 Hawk's wings, 4 Leopard thrusters, 3 Falcon rudders, 2 Cheetah thrusters, and 2 Puma thrusters. This bot is armed with 7 Ravager plasma cannons and 2 Proto Seekers. It's got 42% damage boost, a 15% health boost, and a 33% speed boost. This is a fast flyer, though I do feel it could have used some additional elevation controls. It's got a heavy tail that sometimes causes the bot to slow to a near stop on tight turns, but that also means that it can turn on a dime when it needs to. Good foil redundancy and extra thrust keep this bot in the air even when it's taking considerable damage. It's got an interesting weave style in its chassis construction, but rod mountings with less than optimal damage routing make nearly half of the wings more fragile than they should be. It's mounted with mid-tier plasmas that require the pilot to kind of chase down enemies to finally claim those kills, and that's what keeps this bot from really becoming a killer. But your assist count should be pretty high on a regular basis. As with the Walrus, play this bot back, gather assists and kill secures, and you'll be scoring well every match you play. Phase 1 saw a score velocity of 3.71, Phase 2 saw 4.95, Phase 3 saw 2.35 with an average score velocity of 3.67. Position number 4 finds Stealth Ranger 1032's Pygmy Fly. This bot is 775 CPU. It's got 32 Panther thrusters and 2 Hawk rudders, and it's mounting 5 Mender Nanos. It's got a 69% damage boost, a 3% health boost, and a 5% speed boost. This little medic is a lot of fun, and it's got great scoring potential. Its super small chassis means it's got a super fast recharge, giving it close to infinite heals even though it's using Mender Nanos. The exposed rudder Railsbane influence design means that you could find yourself moving at what feels like 18 miles an hour when your rudders have been shot off. But its thruster placements seem to allow this bot to be able to find its way to cover even when it's been heavily damaged. The small thruster design means that you will spend some time trying to catch up with faster moving allies to get them healed, but its small silhouette, its strong controls, and its fast agility allows you to evade most fire while you try to get to where you need to be to help your buddy. In Phase 1, this bot scored a score velocity of 3.64. In Phase 2, it saw 4.75, and in Phase 3, it got 3.90 for an average score velocity of 4.09. In position 3, we find Enzos Walrus. This bot is 1,341 CPU. It's got 12 albatross wings, 8 panther thrusters, 4 cheetah thrusters, 2 falcon rudders, and a thunderbolt propeller. It's mounted with 5 disintegrator lasers and 5 devastator plasma cannons. It's got 51% damage boost, 13% health boost, and a 25% speed boost. This fast and maneuverable plane is really good if you don't play too aggressively. Air-to-air dogfighting in this bot can often prove fruitless, as this bot really isn't tanky enough to be able to finish off any individual dogfights. Its SMG placement tends to deny the pilot the opportunity to get hits while doing evasive flying or while seeking cover. For ground work, the plasmas are well boosted, but their placement combines with the bot's maneuverability can sometimes result in clipping fire, so I often find myself relying on the lasers when fighting ground targets rather than switching to those plasmas. Don't play too far forward in this bot. Instead, play to gather kill secures. Dogfight only long enough to pull the res out of position, and then use this bot's agility to make your escape as soon as you've taken any damage. Do those things, and you've got yourself a bot that will consistently earn well. In Phase 1, this bot scored a 3.65 score velocity. In Phase 2, it scored a 5.96, and in Phase 3, it scored a 2.97 for an average score velocity of 4.19. In Position 2, we find Kefka Palazzos Fly. This bot is 1,633 CPU. It's got 12 albatross wings and 1 tomahawk propeller. It's got a 38% damage boost, a 38% health boost, and a 13% speed boost. This bot is a powerful little package. Though it's not as fast in elevation changes as I'd like, its tight turn radius keeps it maneuverable, and its dual-mounted leviathans keep the enemies in the crosshairs at all times. The bottom-mounted laser means that nosing into terrain features with the hopes of sliding up and over them will get you shot up pretty easily, though just a few matches of practice should get you out of that habit pretty easily. All in all, this bot's tanky chassis, its protected wing mounts, and its powerful weapons will serve any pilot well against enemies in the air and on the ground. Phase 1 saw this bot scoring a 3.30 score velocity. Phase 2 saw a 5.39, and this bot scored a 4.52 in Phase 3 for an average score velocity of 4.40. In first position this week, we find RetroMax and Upside Down Meta. This bot is 886 CPU. It's got 2 assault rotors, 2 invader rotors, and 1 leviathan laser. It's got a 65% damage boost, a 25% health boost, and a 3% speed boost. This bot is basically an upside down version of last week's #1 bot called Make Lefty Play Meta. Even though the only difference between the two bots is that the invader rotor and the leviathan laser have swapped position on the chassis, this bot performed quite differently. The bottom mounted laser becomes much less usable in air-to-air exchanges where planes and drones can often position themselves above you, and even ground work becomes more difficult because the forward tilt of this bot can sometimes force the leviathan out of alignment with the crosshairs, rendering you unable to target enemies that are directly in front of you. These new weaknesses combine with the lack of secondary weapons or movement, and that results in a less threatening and less fun to play version of an already winning bot. This version of this bot proves that meta forces itself to the top, even if it's not particularly well designed. This bot scored a 3.79 in Phase 1, a 6.27 in Phase 2, and a 3.46 in Phase 3 for an average score velocity of 4.51. That's it for this week's Prime Slices. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you want to see more of them, and leave your comments below because I want to know what you think about these bots. Remember, you can submit your bot to the cut anytime by visiting my website, LeftySpinHands.live, to learn how to format your submission, and then visiting my Twitch channel to execute the Buy My Bot command in the chat. You can do that anytime, Monday through Friday. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you this weekend when we begin another cycle of LeftySpinHands, The Cut.